doing well. I think it's Friday. Yeah, it's Friday. Just wanted to make sure. But hope everybody's doing well, and hope you guys had a great weekend or a great week, and hope you guys are looking forward to the weekend. Yeah. So beyond that, not too much is going on with me. I was in up by Barry Way for the duration of the morning. So I was up in Alliston, and then I went back over to Shelburne, and I was kind of up in that area. I was looking at a vehicle with a friend, so that's what I was doing for most of the morning today. I got home at around 1:30, 2 o'clock, and I've been in Guelph ever since. But I must say, today was a rainy, foggy, not a very good day. The drive was very foggy going up to Alliston and Barry Way. So yeah, that had to be a little bit careful going up there to Barry. On the way back, we were pretty good, but we did run into a little bit of a snowfall in Orangeville on the way back home, and the snowflakes were so big and it was so powerful. But luckily, that didn't last too long. And we were out of the storm pretty quickly. But yeah, no, beyond that, everything else is pretty good. I did snap a photo today of a Barrie police car that was at the Ford dealership that we were at. It was actually in for service. I'm guessing that's why it was there. I can't think of any other reason. So I snapped a photo of that. I took two photos of the car, but I wasn't really happy with the first one, so I settled on the second one, and I'm really glad I got a photo of it because it's the only police force in in Ontario to have that odd checkered police pattern like what the British police cars have. London does have it on their auxiliary police vehicles, but not on their mainline cruisers. So it was interesting to see that car and kind of get a look at it in all its glory. So yeah, I did that, and yeah, other than that, not too much. Yeah, I'm just gonna put out a community post letting everybody know that I'm live. I didn't do that yesterday, I don't think, but I remember. So I'm gonna do it today, just so people don't, miss out on the live stream. Usually I'm pretty on the ball at posting, so I'll just make sure uh, that I post. Sorry guys, I'm just posting right now. Just letting everybody know that I'm live and that they can tune in and see me chat. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I did try my phone yesterday. I did have some problems with it. So that's why I'm streaming on the tablet. As I kind of mentioned previously, I can't guarantee any outdoor streams in the near future, just given the problems with my phone. So that's why I'm doing these tablet streams inside. It's a pretty crappy day anyway, so we're not really missing much by staying inside. So yeah. Hey, I'm assuming that's Teresa. Hey, Teresa, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining. Welcome, welcome. First chat of the stream, so welcome to the stream. But yeah, today is Friday, so happy about that. Looking forward to the weekend. Hopefully the weather is decent for the weekend, but we are on the cusp of spring, so no promises with the weather being too charming. Super Monkey says, I just sub. Well, thank you for subscribing, Super Monkey, and welcome to the channel, and welcome to the stream. And thank you for subscribing to the channel. Hey, Mason, how you doing, man? Welcome to the stream. How was your day today? But yeah, no, where do I live? I live in Canada, so I live in Ontario, which is the province, and I live in a city called Guelph in Canada. I'm doing pretty good. I was up Alliston Way today, Barrie Way, I guess, and did that I was gone for most of the morning up there, and I got home at around 1:30, 2 o'clock, and yeah, so kind of did that, and just chilling now. Didn't really get any new videos today for the channel. I did look for things to film. There wasn't really anything good to film out there. There was no responses at all, so there's no new responses, unfortunately. But I did post 2 videos today, and I'm probably going to post 2 more tomorrow, and then I'm going to kind of start scaling back the uploads to maybe 1 a day, because I'm just quickly running out of videos, so yeah. The 2 a day thing is going to kind of slow down. Saying, you're from Ottawa. Oh, nice. Nice. And Teresa, did you subscribe too? Is that what you're saying? Well, thank you very much for subscribing. Do I like hockey? I'm not really a big sports guy, but I'll watch hockey. I actually think hockey is one of the more interesting sports out there. So I watch it the odd time, but I'm not a big aficionado for hockey. But I'll watch it if it's on. You know, it's kind of a neat sport. Oh, you actually went near New Tecumseh? Yeah, I was in New Tecumseh. That was where I was. And I was up close to Barrie as well, so that's kind of what I was doing up there. We were looking at a vehicle, so we were kind of all over the place, going to different places. USA versus Canada hockey finals. Yeah, I saw the women's Olympics. Canada was beat by the U.S. I think the men's are playing later in the week or next week. So we'll see what happens there. I'm not really following it too closely, so I'm not sure what's going to happen there, but always going to root for Canada. I think that's the patriotic thing to do. But again, I'm not really well educated on the sports, so I don't like to give an opinion too much. February 22nd. Okay, that's good. Geez, where's February gone? It's already the 20th. Yeah, but to answer your question, Mason, I was up by New Tecumseh area, and I was actually in Alliston for a brief period. Went by the Honda plant, and I've never been to Alliston before, and I went by the Honda plant. That Honda plant is massive. It's freaking huge. So yeah, I was by there and saw how big the facility was. They got a spur line for the train, so I did see a Canadian Pacific Railway train, shunt train on the spur line. Didn't film it because it wasn't moving. Probably could have taken a picture of it, but I didn't. But I did manage to snap a photo of a buried police car, so I'm happy about that. So yeah, that's about it. And the weekend, I don't know what my plans are. Hopefully, if the weather's good, I can do some rail fanning or some buffing. But there's no promises at this time of year with the weather being the way it is. So yeah. So, Mason, what are your plans for the weekend? Are you buffing in St. Thomas? Or are you going up to London? Or what are your plans for the weekend? I'm gonna try and get out if I can, but again, it's all weather dependent. The weather right now this time of year is very volatile, so it's kind of hard to make any definite plans outside. I was gonna go for a walk today after I got home, but I was kind of tired, and I just thought, I've got enough videos, so I'll just stay inside today and upload the videos that I have left to post. I do have a video of a Kitchener LRT train that I was going to send off. I did send it to my brother. He never uploaded it. I was going to send it to Ontario Fire Buff, but I think what I'll do instead is I'll just upload that little 6-second clip probably tomorrow or the day after. I've never filmed an LRT, so might as well post it on the channel, start something new. Gonna see what's going on in town and maybe go down to Port Stanley. Oh, nice. Fun stuff. Gonna do London next weekend. All right, that's good. Nice. Sounds like a good plan. Yeah, so that'll be exciting. Yeah, I am planning on going to London sometime in the future. We have some family down there, but we're gonna go see. We were supposed to go down a couple weekends ago. It got canceled. We were gonna go back last weekend, and it got canceled again. So we need to get down there. It's just a matter of when we get down there. But I will definitely be going down that way sometime. I'd like to go down there and time it right to meet you maybe, but we'll see what my schedule looks like. And if not, the people that I am with said that they'll drop me off in St. Thomas to visit with you. So that's always an option too if you're not in London and I'm going down that way. They'll drop me off and then they'll carry on to London and I can stay in St. Thomas with you. So that's just an idea to put in your head. Sweet, yeah. That would absolutely be sweet. I'd love to be able to do that, and I'd love to be able to buff with you because we've talked so much, but we've never gone buffing together, and it's nice to know that there's ever people out there that like to buff. So I'm super excited. Hopefully we can do that. I go to London quite frequently. Nice. I go the odd time. Probably go about 3 or 4 times a year. And probably with the summer weather, I'll definitely be going in the summer for sure, at least once, because of the weather. But right now, with the weather being as crappy as it is, yeah, winter not so much. Yeah, I can see that. It's all weather dependent, especially buffing. You gotta have good weather for it, and you don't want to be going all the way there when it's fucking crappy out. So I don't blame you one bit there. But yeah, we do have plans to go to London. Just when we go, I don't know. And if by chance I'm going down to London and you're not going the same day, I can always come to St. Thomas so we can meet up there, because that's another option I talked about. So yeah, hoping to get down there, hoping to get to more cities in general and film some more stuff from different cities, and hoping to meet some of you guys like Ben and you, Mason, and do some buffing with you guys, because we've talked so much but we've never met in person. So hopefully this will be the year that we do that and get that done. But yeah, I know not too many fire buffs come up to Guelph. Guelph is kind of a really hit or miss city. Some days you get a lot of action, other days you get not so much going on. So it's kind of a difficult city to buff in, and with radio encryption, it's also not a very buff friendly city either. So, there's a lot of reasons why people don't really like to come to Guelph. London, I'll give them a lot of credit. They're a much busier city. They have the scanners up, so it makes it a lot easier, and it's just a way better city to buff in for those factors right there. I got a big trip during March break that I'm excited for. Yeah, definitely. You've been telling me about it. So that'll be fun. And hopefully, I look forward to seeing some of the videos that will come out of that trip. And hopefully, maybe you'll make it up this way. I know you said you're going to Waterloo region. I know Guelph is not on your radar, but who knows? Maybe something will bring you here. Guelph is tough because of encryption. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, Guelph is a tough city because of encryption, and it's very hit or miss. It's a very hit or miss city. I've had days where I've gone out, and it's been crazy busy with ambulances and fire trucks, and then I've had days where I've gone out and there's been nothing at all for the whole day. So it's a very hit or miss city, and it's honestly kind of tough to buff in. You have to be really dedicated to buff in here. And like now with encryption, 90% of the calls I get are just purely luck. Really, all the calls are just purely luck. Sometimes I'll purposely sit there and wait. But it's all luck, so that makes it a little bit more interesting. Guelph Highway 6 between Toronto and Hamilton. Yep, that's right. It's about an hour west of Toronto, actually a little less than an hour west of Toronto, and it's above Hamilton. So yeah, Guelph, that's the city where I live. I've lived here my whole life. It's a pretty good city, I complain about it a lot, but it's actually pretty good. After seeing some of these other cities like Kitchener and Hamilton and London, I'm pretty grateful to live in Guelph, I'm pretty grateful. So yeah, but I have big plans for the summer, to get some more fire trucks, get some more filming in for emergency responses. Whether or not that happens, we'll have to wait and see. I'd like to get out to more cities like London and Niagara and even down in the States and do some filming there, but it's all dependent on my schedule and what goes on. But I have big plans. It's just a matter of whether or not they get implemented. So yeah, I am looking forward though. My family's starting to talk about going to Vegas in April possibly, so I'm really hoping that holds true and we do end up going to Vegas, because that'll be a fun trip. Vegas is a really good city to buff in, it's a really good city to film in, and it's just a really good city to travel to and spend a weekend. If you've never been to Vegas, I highly recommend it. It's a city that always keeps you on your toes. I enjoy it very much, so always, I had fun in Vegas the last time, and I'm sure if I go back, I'll have a lot of fun the next time. Yes, I have relatives in Guelph. I live in Niagara Falls, Perrytown. Oh, nice. Nice. Yeah, I've lived here my whole life. I've actually been to Niagara Falls, never been to Perry Sound. Yeah, so are they encrypted in Vegas? Yes, they just recently went encrypted. As far as I know, there's actually a fire buff down there that I was kind of watching. Critical 911. He's got some great content on his channel, and he was talking about the encryption and how it's made his buffing more complicated. Where have we heard that before? But yeah, the encryption down in Vegas has made it a bit more complicated to buff and film. I know police in all of the United States is going to be fully encrypted throughout every department by October of 26th. The federal government has put out a new regulation or mandate for all the police agencies to go to an encrypted network. This is a federal policy. They're putting aside some funding for this process to take place. Michigan State Police is one example, has already gone fully encrypted, and many other departments, police, will follow. So yeah, fire, I'm not sure. I'm sure eventually they'll all go on the same encryption too, but it's just a little bit further down the line, kind of kicking the can down the road. But the police, they're going to go encrypted expeditiously from what I hear. My brother used to play against the Guelph Platters, Junior A. Oh, nice. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm not a big sports guy. I know we have the Guelph Storm and the Guelph Royals. The Guelph Royals are a baseball team, and the Guelph Storms are a hockey team. I can't say I've ever heard of the Guelph Platters. But, yeah, I used to go to Storm games. I went to a couple Royals games. Didn't really like the baseball games. I was more into the hockey. Baseball I find is kind of tiring. It's kind of boring. It's one of those sports where if I watch it, I'll kind of fall asleep and doze off. So yeah, it's not really my thing. But I know a lot of people like it. So I did kind of follow the World Series last year when the Jays and the LA Dodgers were playing. I did kind of watch that. Just I was curious to see who would win. I was kind of rooting for the Dodgers, and the only reason I was rooting for the Dodgers is because everybody was going for the Jays, and I kind of wanted to just be a little bit different. So I went for the Dodgers and got a lot of hate for it, but I really don't care. I like being different sometimes. I've always been different. I've always been a different kind of guy. But yeah, I did that kind of on purpose. That was kind of my whole intention to kind of stir the pot a little bit. For those of you who don't know, I kind of am a little bit of a shit disturber sometimes. But yeah. But yeah, beyond that, not too much. Hoping to get out and do some buffing this weekend. Hopefully, I can get something on camera. There's no guarantees with anything though. But yeah, it's kind of hit or miss. I love it. LOL. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Mason. But yeah, no, hoping to get. I'd really like to get some more Guelph police content. I know I've got police in the past, but it's always exciting. There's something about getting a police car responding that really, I like it more than almost any other response. Police responses are so exciting to me, and I really like getting them on camera. And when I first started doing this emergency photography, it was really hard to get police cars. I've gotten more police cars now than I ever thought I would have in the beginning. But I really want to get the ERT, or the TRU as they're referred to in Guelph, responding. They have some pretty cool equipment, and they're in the process of upgrading and modernizing all that equipment. So I'd really like to get some of that new police equipment on camera for the ERT. Guelph has a very interesting past history. Oh, for sure it does. It's got a very long history, very interesting history, and it's quite fascinating to learn all about it. I'm not a very big expert on Guelph history. I do know some of it. If you watch some of my outdoor live streams that I did the past summer, I kind of walked around and showed some of the old buildings and showed some of the old places in Guelph. I'd like to do that this summer, but this phone doesn't want to cooperate with me, so I can't promise that. But yeah, Guelph has a very interesting history, and there was a lot of during World War II, as an example, there was a lot of people that trained in Guelph for the war. There was pilots that trained here. There was other regiments and groups of the army that trained right here in Guelph, and they went off to fight in World War II. So that's kind of an interesting piece of history right there alone. We're referred to as the Royal City, and I believe that's because there was a royal visit here sometime back in the 50s. I think the Queen, it might have even been the King who came here. I think it was the Queen, though, who came and visited Guelph, and it's now referred to as the Royal City, although I hear less and less people referring to it as that nowadays. And we have a park called Royal City Park. Used to be a beautiful park, but it's kind of been taken over by the homeless as of late. I used to walk through there a lot, and right down by the river, and got a great view of Wellington Street, so you might get a response. Everything's always got to have a response component to it, emergency vehicle component to it. But yeah, Royal City Park's a nice park, but it's kind of a little bit seedy now with all the homeless around, but that's okay. That's just big city progress. That's the way it goes now. Just stay away from them, and most of them, I will say, are pretty good. You get the odd one though that's a little bit off their hinges. Bootleggers and the Prohibition era were history as well. Yeah, that's I've heard some history talk about the Prohibition era in Guelph and some of the stuff that used to go on. I'm not a very big expert in it, so I'm not going to delve too deep into it. But the Prohibition era in general was a pretty interesting era. And sometimes, the way I see people drink, I wonder if we need to bring it back. But even me, I like to drink, so it's something you have to be very careful with, for sure. But yeah, Guelph's got a very neat history, and it's a very old city. And one thing I do critique about Guelph a little bit, especially downtown Guelph, is a lot of the old buildings, the old stone buildings, have been torn down in place of newer model 70s brutalist kind of shitty buildings in its place. A lot of the buildings downtown actually caught fire and were torn down and rebuilt as new buildings. And so I critique that a little bit. I like some of the other cities, like Cambridge as an example. Beautiful downtown, beautiful old buildings. Even Orangeville today, when I passed through Orangeville, beautiful old buildings downtown. It's pretty well preserved. Guelph kind of, they need to maybe not tear down so many old buildings. But I will say they are kind of getting a little bit stricter with protecting historical buildings. So I do appreciate that as well. And yeah. But yeah, Guelph is a pretty good city. You know, it's pretty good for what it is. But you know, and like I like liking, you know, one thing about Guelph being here, there's always something to film. You know, whether it's trains, trucking, emergency responses, there's always something to film in Guelph. We even have an airport, so I can get some aviation content in there too. I'd like to go back out to the air park this summer and get some more plane spotting from Guelph Air Park. That's usually a pretty exciting airport to watch planes at, especially now that they have the guided biplane tours. So they have biplanes coming in and out of there pretty regularly in the summertime. So if you sit there long enough, you will get an airplane flying out of there. So I would like to go back and do some more plane spotting there. My dad's usually pretty good for taking me out there and letting me plane spot. So I'm excited for the summer. You know, days like this where it's really crappy out, it really makes me even that much more excited. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the summer and hopefully getting some new content for the channel. But yeah, and I'm going to Truck World in April, so that'll be exciting. I'm gonna get some big rig content on there. Truck World, for those of you who don't know, is basically an expo for all of the trucks and truck lines and truck dealerships to kind of, it's basically like the equivalent of the auto show. So they'll have new trucks on display, they'll have vendors and booths and things. So I'm looking forward to going to that. One place I would like to go is the Ontario Fire Chiefs Trade Show, but I don't know if anybody would go with me. I know the people I live with don't really want to go with me, so with that out of the question, it's a little bit more difficult to go there. But the Ontario Fire Chiefs Trade Show is a pretty cool show. They have new trucks on display, new fire trucks on display for new departments around the province and the country. They have stock trucks on display, so that's a pretty cool place to go as well. And tickets are reasonably priced. I actually emailed about it. Tickets are $25 for anybody who wants to go. So it's a pretty neat place to see as well. It's at the International Center, which is the same venue where the Truck World is being held. The International Center, for those who don't know, is pretty large, and it's also very conveniently placed. It's right by the airport, so I can do my videos, and then I can go and do some plane spotting afterwards. And there's a fire hall there, too, so you can get some emergency responses, so it's the best of all worlds. Me too, big plans, gonna see how many new departments I can get. Yeah, for sure, I'd like to get some new departments too. I'd love to get, I'm going back to Waterloo on Friday, so I'm super excited about that. I'd love to get Waterloo on camera. I'd love to get London on camera one day. I'm probably going to go to Port Huron in the summer. I'd love to get some Fort Gratiot content and even some more Port Huron content as well. And I'd love to get Niagara Falls as well, because Niagara is a place I've been so many times, never gotten a response. I've seen many down there, but never gotten one on camera. So I'd love to finally get one on camera sometime this summer, hopefully. Big plans, whether or not they happen, who knows? You know, sometimes life has a way of putting things aside and, you know, priorities changing. But big plans, we'll see if they happen. If nothing else, I'll have some good Guelph content, and I always have the trains. If everything else fails, I always have old Via Rail 84 to film. So yeah. But yeah, I think it'll be a good summer. I'm super stoked, and again, I hope fire photography, I hope I can meet up with you sometime and do some buffing with you. That'll be super fun. Super fun. Buffing is really fun when you're doing it with a partner. It's kind of boring when you're doing it alone, I find. But yeah, beyond that, what is there to talk about? I'm trying to find something else to talk about. Oh yeah, I posted a community post. I posted a picture of that Barrie police car, so you can check that out if you haven't already. But I also posted a throwback picture to 2009 of Guelph Fire Department's old platoon chief vehicle, the old Chevrolet Express. I remember that vehicle very well. I posted a picture of that on my community tab, so you can check that picture out as well. And I'm going to post an old photo tomorrow of your local department, St. Thomas. I'm going to post an old picture of an old piece of apparatus tomorrow, so I'm really excited to post that. I'll give you a hint, it does have a ladder on it, but that'll be an exciting post. It's from 2014, so it's a little bit newer. 2014 or 2016? I mean 2016. 2016, so it's a little bit newer, but still 10 years old, so it's still a throwback. But yeah, I'm going to post that tomorrow, and I'm going to try posting more pictures of old equipment. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm that's kind of what I'm hoping to do more of as well. Google Earth is very good when you can go back and see the old dates of the old departments and see the old pictures, the old street view images. Old ladder 5 on the pad, you would be correct, sir. You would be correct. That's the picture I'm going to share tomorrow. So I guess I shouldn't have given so much information, but yeah, that's what I'm going to share tomorrow. So I'm kind of excited about that because I know you and Ontario Fire Buff, that's your department. So yeah, knew it. Yeah, you've probably seen the picture, so it's probably nothing new for you anyway, but I'm going to share it and just kind of put it out there. I like sharing pictures of the old fire trucks. It's nice to see the old trucks. I did show a picture of Pump 9 there, the old Pump 9, a few months ago or a month ago. That's back when it was Pump 8 actually. That was a nice old truck. I love those old E1 aerials, those old E1 Superiors. That was a neat truck. You know, the pumpers, the aerials. I love those old early 2000s E1s, and they're quickly becoming scarce in a lot of departments around Southern Ontario. I remember Brampton, that used to be the bread and butter of their department. Now they're kind of, I think they're pretty much all gone out of Brampton's. I think really the only bigger department that still runs them is St. Thomas. I don't think there's any other bigger department that really runs them. I know Centre Wellington has an old E1 Superior aerial as well. I think that's at the Fergus station, but I could be wrong. I've seen that truck, never filmed it responding, because it's never been responding every time I've seen it. But if I see it again, I am certainly going to get a video of it, even if it's not responding. And that's another thing I'm going to do more of too, is when I go to a city, even if I see a fire truck not responding, I will take a video of it, even if it's not responding, just to say I filmed it and I have it on camera to share with all of you guys. Because I am somewhat lucky. I do get to travel a lot more than maybe some people, so I'd like to share those experiences and those different cities and different departments with people when I can. Yeah, we love E1s here. Yeah, E1s are nice trucks. I would say Pearson E1s are my two favorite manufacturers. The only thing about E1 that I'm kind of a little bit disappointed about is they were bought up by Rev Group, and Rev Group is a pretty I'm not going to say they're a shitty company, but they're kind of they're price fixing and price gouging, and but I mean, Oshkosh is doing that too with Pierce, so I mean, it's not really just an entirely Rev Group problem per se, but I do still like the E1s, and yeah, so, and I like the Pierces as well. But one thing I like about Sutphin, and I think HME as well, I don't think they're owned by big conglomerates like Pierce and E1 are. I think they're still independent, but I could be wrong about that. I know Seagrave is. Seagrave is one of the last holdouts, but their trucks are super expensive and super rare up here. I think there's only one department or two departments that I know of in this general area that runs Seagraves, and that's Gatineau, which isn't even in Ontario. They have a Seagrave pumper, and then what is it, Perth Fire up east towards Belleville area. Forget the name of the department now, but they have an old Seagrave Marauder aerial as well. So yeah, super rare up here, but nice trucks and super unique. If imagine if Guelph got all Seagraves, that would be so cool. But they never will. They never will. They're going with the Pierces. They're going with the good old Pierces, and they're nice trucks too. So yeah, super exciting. I can't wait to see these new pumpers that Guelph speaks of, but I don't think they're coming for another couple of years. So who knows if I'll ever see them, because we are talking about moving out of Guelph one day. So who knows if I'll ever see the new pumpers when they come into service. Hopefully, but if it's going to be another 2 or 3 years, who knows. But I have a funny feeling that the new pumpers that Guelph Fire is going to get will be top mount pumpers. Probably just because the previous pumpers have been top mounts. Although, speaking of that, Pump 6 and Rescue 3 were not top mounts, they were side mounts. But I'm thinking that the new ones will be top mounts. And the top mounts are a nice truck too. They look pretty good. Yeah, I'm excited to see them. Oh yeah, for sure. I'm really excited to see them too. If I ever see a Guelph firefighter in person, I'm going to ask them if they have any info on it. I've asked a few over Facebook, never really gotten any response. I even asked a representative at Commercial Truck Equipment about the new Guelph Pierce pumpers, and he couldn't give me any information. So hopefully when I if I ever see a firefighter, I shouldn't say when, if I see a Guelph firefighter, I can ask him and get some information on them, because I really want to know when they're coming. You guys thinking of moving out of Guelph, more south, if you don't mind me asking? Yeah, looking down like Chatham way, something like that. That's the plan. Whether or not that happens, who knows? It's just all kind of ideas right now. Guelph is getting a little bit big for our liking. The taxes go up every year. It's not the charming little city that it used to be, so there's somewhat of a desire to move out. Whether or not we do is a whole nother conversation. I mean, we got all our family here. Everything we have is in Guelph, so whether or not we do is kind of up in the air. I'd like to move out of Guelph one day, because my dream is to buy a home, and unfortunately, with the house prices being so high in Guelph, I can't do that here. At least Chatham Way, you can get a house there sometimes $300,000 cheaper than you can here. So, that's a big incentive for people to move, for home buyers to want to move down there, is because of the prices. One good thing about Guelph, though, is there is a lot of opportunity here, so that brings a lot of people in. But yeah, Chatham's nice. I've been down there many times. I like it. I like Wallaceburg, Chatham. It's a very nice area, and yeah, it's a good spot. And it's close to the border, which we like as well, because we go into the States a lot. Hey, Ontario Firebuff, welcome to the stream. I'm doing pretty good. How about you? I'm doing pretty good. Today I was up Alliston Way, up Barrie Way, so I was up there for most of the morning. I got back at around 2:30 or 2 o'clock. Fuck, I keep changing the times every time I answer that question. But yeah, it was a good little road trip today, and snapped a photo of a Barrie police car, and I saw a Simcoe ambulance not responding, but didn't take a picture of that, unfortunately. Probably should have, but we were on the highway, so it probably wouldn't have been a good picture anyway. Not bad. School is normal as usual. Yeah, well, another day, another dollar. Although I guess in your case you're not making any dollars, but yeah, school kind of gets normal after a while. Just kind of the same old grind, same old thing. I know when I was in grade 12, I couldn't wait to graduate. And then when it actually came time to graduate, by the end of June, I was so not wanting to graduate. In fact, I was so serious about staying, I actually talked to my guidance counselor about doing it every year. And she said, call me anytime over the summer to confirm if you want to come back in the fall. And I never did, and I never went back. And a lot of times I wish I do, because I like school a lot. It was a lot of fun, especially now. Because when you get out into the working world, it's very difficult to find a job. It's very difficult to do a lot of things sometimes. So school's good. And not to mention I had a bigger social life when I was in school. Now I don't really talk to anybody now, other than you guys. I talk to you guys, but I have the odd friend that I talk to, but not like I used to. School is very social for me. But yeah, I miss school. Miss school quite a bit. But yeah, it gets to be kind of the same old thing after a while. But even when you work, it's the same thing every day. You just go to work. Eventually, it becomes just the same old. Whether you're a firefighter or whether you're a cashier at Dollarama, it's all the same job at the end of the day. It all becomes the same, pretty much. I mean, like Guelph, fire department, 90% of their calls are medical. They get the odd fire. Then there's training. It's a little bit more different with the fire department, but yeah, generally in Guelph it's the same. Medicals, alarms, yacht fire, maybe 4 or 5 times a year, although the fires are getting more prevalent now. I gotta go out more. I might go out tomorrow. Yeah, for sure, definitely. That's even my problem is going out, and even when I was younger, I had a hard time getting myself out to do things. And yeah, definitely go out and do things. Go for a walk. Go see your friends. Just enjoy life. Go out and do things, because before you know it, you've wasted time not doing anything, and questioning yourself. You got to go out and enjoy things. And even me, I enjoy simple things. Like for me, going for a walk is enjoyable. Going buffing is enjoyable. Simple things like that I like doing. Some people might call that crazy, but I love doing them. So yeah, just go out and do stuff. I just tag along with my grandpa whenever he goes somewhere, and I just find stuff to film. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's kind of what I do. I tag along with my friend. We go places together, or I go for a walk, and I just find stuff to film, and that's kind of what I do too. And I really like it. I actually look forward to planning my day around filming something. going out and walking and looking for stuff to film and take pictures of. I really like doing that. That's to me, that's more exciting than going to a fair or going to a market or doing any of that stuff. And that's one of the good things about being single is I can do all that stuff and I don't have to worry about working around a girlfriend's schedule. Being single is very liberating in that sense. You can really do what you enjoy doing. So I enjoy buffing, I enjoy walking, I enjoy rail fanning, I enjoy filming stuff, and I can do that with nobody criticizing me or critiquing me. So that's very liberating. Did Rescue 10 stop running manacles? Oh, I think we talked about Rescue 10 for a little bit, but not in this stream. But yeah, what is going on with Rescue 10? It's kind of been a quiet truck lately. Yes, for a few years. Oh, okay. That'll be interesting. So what are they going to do with it? What are they going to do with that truck? Because it's a pretty big piece of equipment to have sitting around. And that truck doesn't have a pump on it, does it? Like it's just a rescue truck exclusively? I know our Rescue 3, it has a pump and a tank and a foam system on it. So it's kind of a multi-purpose vehicle. It's a callback truck. Okay, nice. Kind of like our Pump 1. Our Pump 1 is a callback truck, so it's not too often that it gets used. But yeah. And Rescue Hazmat. Okay, nice. Honestly, I don't even know if we have like a truck that does hazmat calls. I'm not even sure. Probably do. I just can't think. Probably it would be Rescue 3 if there was one. It ran a call a few weeks back. Oh, okay, nice. So it's still getting out. That's good. Yeah, I know Pump 1, sometimes they put it on, and I've filmed it running a couple calls. I filmed it running 2 calls as Pump 1. 3 calls, 2 of which had a really good air horn, and the third one was at Edinburgh and Wellington. So yeah, I filmed Pump 1 twice. That used to be Pump 2, and then they moved it over to Station 1, and they took the old Pump 1 and moved it to Station 2. They're always shuffling the trucks around in Guelph, so you never know where any truck is going to be at any given time. They shuffle the trucks around a lot. They haven't shuffled anything lately, other than, spares coming back and forth. But I'm sure when the new pumpers arrive, in a few years, they'll do some more fleet shuffling, and some trucks will get moved to different stations. Like as an example, Rescue 3 used to be Rescue 4, and then when the Aerial came in, Aerial 4 took its place, and then Rescue 3 went to that station. And Rescue 3 is a very big truck, so... And I've gotten Rescue 3 a few times as Rescue 3. I got Rescue 3 a couple times as Rescue 4. So yeah. Yeah, Rescue 10 will go out for confirmed fires, water rescue, technical, and big hazmat calls. Okay, nice. Nice. Do you guys get a lot of water rescue calls in St. Thomas, or is that kind of a rare occurrence? I know Guelph, we get quite a few more water rescue calls than some other cities. We have a lot of rivers, waterways, canals, things like that. So, we actually have a dedicated water rescue truck and a dinghy to run those calls. So I filmed the water rescue unit responding once as well. I don't know if you guys have seen that video. I think you and Ontario Fire Buff have probably seen the Guelph Fire water rescue responding. I filmed that 2 summers ago. And the only reason I got that is because I had the scanner. That was the OPP scanner back then. I'm back. Well, welcome back, Ontario Fire Buff. Welcome back. I posted a Roblox video today. Well, I will go and check it out, and I'll drop a comment below. But yeah, that's awesome, man. Good for you. Good. Just keep posting content. Kind of make yourself a schedule or something. Just kind of say, hey, this is what I'm going to upload on this day, and just kind of get in the routine of uploading things. And yeah, but that's awesome. I'll go and check that video out. I will certainly do that. The Roblox responses are pretty cool, and I gotta say, even when I've looked at other creators doing them, I think it's pretty cool to watch them. Not much water in St. Thomas. Okay, yeah, fair enough. I didn't think there was. I know we also run mutual aid for Guelph Aramasa as well, because they have Guelph Lake, which is a pretty big body of water in our area, so sometimes we'll run mutual aid for that department, and our truck will go. We have a quarry that's just west of Guelph on 24, so the water rescue response that I filmed was going to that quarry for a couple kids that weren't even supposed to be there. I'd say we get 4 a year. Okay, yeah. I'd say we probably get more than that. I'd say probably 10 to 15 maybe. We get a lot of calls in town too, like right on the Speed River. We get a lot of calls, and especially with these homeless We've had a couple homeless people get into the water and have problems. We had one drown once. So yeah, it's kind of an unfortunate thing. And as I say, with the homeless being around Royal City Park, that's right on a river. They actually have their encampments right up by the water in some cases. So some things happen, and you know, next thing you know, you got a water rescue response on your hands. But yeah, it's actually I have actually seen the dinghy up close and kind of walked around it years back. And they've used the same piece of equipment for quite a few years. But it's a neat thing. It's a neat piece of equipment. Hazmats, I don't know how many hazmats we have in Guelph hazmat calls. Technical rescues, we probably have a few of those, but yeah. With encryption, it's really hard to know what's going on, and I'm not really an insider on Guelph Fire's day-to-day operations. I know they run a lot of medicals and a lot of alarm calls. In fact, today, I thought there was a fire truck on the street one street over from me, so I walked over there thinking there might have been a fire truck there, and there wasn't. It just turned out to be Christmas lights that looked like flashing lights, so I kind of got confused, but oh well. That's happened before. It probably would have only been Aerial 1 anyway if it was a fire truck, so it's not like I haven't got Aerial 1 before. We had an OPP response for a water rescue boat of a 14-year-old drowning. Oh no, that's not good. That's not good at all. Yeah, the one that I filmed, they were going out to the quarry out on 24 there, Highway 24, and there was a bunch of kids that went out there and you know, they were trespassing. They weren't supposed to be on that quarry property. They went for a swim, and one of them, I don't know exactly what happened, but one of them had troubles, and they had to do a water rescue, so there was a big response for that. Like, and even the OPPs, if I could have filmed the OPP cars responding, I would have had OPP responses for a year, because there was at least freaking 10 cars that responded to that call. It was a big response. Fire photography says when? I don't know, like 1 or 2 years ago, yeah. Time goes by, eh? Like, even me, like, looking back at that water rescue response, that's 2 years ago, almost. If not more than 2 years ago. Like, it's just crazy where the time goes. And to think that I've been doing this for 4 years is just crazy. Time goes really fast when you're having fun. But you know what? That's the key word, fun. I'm having fun doing this. I love fire buffing. I love filming. I love talking to you guys. So, gonna keep doing it. Going to keep doing it for as long as YouTube will allow me to, because I actually had a friend did YouTube for 10 years, and Google has this like AI monitoring system, and it flagged the video on his channel, and the AI determined that his channel had to be deleted. So his 10 years of hard work down the toilet with one push of a button by Google's AI monitoring. So that's why you have to be very careful, especially me, doing these live streams. I have to be very careful what I say, because I don't want to get flagged by Google as a bad person and get my channel deleted. Not after 4 years of hard work. I couldn't imagine 10 years. But yeah, sometimes things happen. But it's been fun. Anyway, guys, I've been yabbing on for 40 minutes plus, so I'm going to end this stream now on a high note before I run out of things to talk about. So thank you guys so much for joining. Mason, Ontario Firebuffs, always good chatting with you. And to everybody else who joined the stream and the new subscribers, thank you so much for joining the family. And I look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Yeah, YouTube is getting lazy by the day with their AI moderation. Yeah, they are, but AI is kind of taken over the world lately, it seems. It's kind of seems to be the new normal, so we just kind of have to adapt to it and work even harder. I couldn't even post my 2025 recap vid. Oh, damn. Well, that sucks. Yeah, no, the AI moderation is a little bit difficult. Yeah, you have a good night too, Fire Photography, and you as well, Ontario Firebuff. It was great chatting with you. And I'll speak to you again soon. Take care, guys.